Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this June 26th, Wednesday. Now, we're going to get started with our first story, which is Thailand resuming sending workers to Israel amid a local production crisis. Now, Thailand will restart sending agricultural workers to Israel after an 8-month break due to the Hamas attacks in October. Around 30,000 Thai workers were in Israel before the conflict, with 39 killed and 32 taken hostage during the attacks. 6 Thais still remain captive. The Thai government has coordinated with Israel to ensure worker safety, and the first group of about 100 workers will depart Bangkok on Tuesday, with more following in early July. Many Thai workers are attracted to Israel for higher wages, seeking to alleviate debt common in Thailand's rural northeast. Yeah, I mean, hazard pay, right? It's one of those things where there is a risk. Obviously, there's still 6 Thai hostages over there. That's a terrible, horrifying thought. Now more of these workers are going to be put in precarious situations. However, the money talks, right? Like, they're going to get paid a lot more than they would doing whatever they're doing here in Thailand, particularly in the rural areas of Thailand. So the incentives are there. The risks are understood. Consenting adults, I don't really know. We'll see. I mean, the situation is still playing out. They did take a long time, 8 months, before they started allowing workers to go back that way. So there must be some sort of indication that the situation's settled down a little bit more, or a little safer for the Thai workers to go and resume those agricultural migrant worker plans. But yeah, I don't know. Stay safe, Thai people over there, because it's still a very sticky situation, and yeah, don't want you getting into any trouble. Yeah, anyways, Shane says, hope they are safe there too. Me too. All right, now on to our next story, which concerns the founder of WikiLeaks. So yeah, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has passed through Thailand on the path to freedom. So Julian Assange's legal battles against extradition to the United States continues to unfold. Now, he faces charges related to the publication of classified documents by WikiLeaks, which exposed U.S. military activities and alleged war crimes. His defense argues that these actions are protected under press freedoms. Now, currently, he was held in London's Belmarsh prison, and Assange's health has deteriorated, and his wife, Stella Assange, stresses the life or death stakes of his extradition. Thailand was mentioned as a possible stopover due to its strategic location during international movements. The UK courts are deliberating whether to allow his appeal against extradition. No, I'm sorry, I think I got that wrong, though. He's already on the way. He's going to be facing his trial and his plea deal in Saipan, I believe. So, yeah, Julian Assange, this has been a harrowing tale. He's been locked up for 5 years. Before that, he was locked up in the Ecuadorian embassy, I believe, for a long time, before finally being turned over to the London authorities several years ago. So I believe part of the deal is, like, it's a plea deal. I'm not sure he really has anything. He didn't really give anything up. It's more of like a time served thing. And now the U.S. gets to sort of set precedent with this case. But anyways, freedom for Assange. A very controversial figure, but I would argue a very brave one, who put his money where his mouth is and ended up doing time for his crimes, or for what he believed in, I guess you could say. So anyways, let us know your thoughts on that very controversial situation as it is now unfolding. All right, so anyways, let's move on to our next story. Now, we're back in Thailand now. Now, a Thai woman has escaped arrest with her boyfriend's help, but was later caught. So a Thai woman, Naranya, was arrested for theft at a shopping center in Sattahip after attempting to steal 2 bottles of imported alcohol. While being processed at the police station, she escaped with the help of her boyfriend, Artit, who picked her up on a motorcycle. The couple initially evaded capture, but police, with the help of Naranya's father, managed to apprehend them in Rayong province. Now, Artit claimed he assisted Naranya to prevent their daughter from going up without her mother. Both were arrested in their rented room, and charges are pending. All right, couple of bottles of alcohol, that's no good. It's high end. It must have had a price tag on it. But yeah, you're a mom, dude. You shouldn't really be shoplifting either. That's not really a good thing, particularly alcohol, right? That's a bad set of priorities there. Interesting that the father was involved and eventually is the one who helped find her to turn her over to the authorities. So that must show that there's some other problems existing and underlying there. Not exactly the kind of behavior a mother should be engaged in. Hopefully this big public shaming and whatever kind of punishment comes her way will correct that behavior. I know I would like to do everything I can to avoid Thai prison, and if that means not shoplifting bottles, then I won't do that. All right, Shano says, 2 bottles of grog, was it worth it? Yeah, I don't really think so, especially, such a big hubbub over it. And, the husband, I didn't want my children growing up without a mother. I mean, come on, dude. She stole a couple of bottles of alcohol. She's not going to get put away for life or anything like that. But, you got to face the consequences of your action. And, she'll be facing it. All right. A certain piece says beer runs are taken seriously in Thailand. That's kind of funny. Anyways, I don't think they'll throw the book at her, but a little public shaming, a little drubbing in her community will hopefully fix that behavior. Well, we still have more Thai women behaving badly. Next, we're going off to Taiwan. So Thai women have been arrested in Taiwan for illegal prostitution. That's right. Taiwanese police arrested 8 Thai women and 1 Thai trans woman at a hotel in Taipei City's Zhongshan district for illegal prostitution. This crackdown followed the arrest of 24 Thai women in the same district in May. The 9 Thai nationals who entered Taiwan under a visa-free scheme were recruited by a transnational sex trafficking gang. They were detained and will be deported with a life ban on re-entry to the country. The hotel owners face charges related to sexual content and labor laws. Taiwanese authorities continue to investigate the trafficking gang behind this operation and warn against believing false job advertisements. Yeah, that's the question, right? Guns and Explosives ask, how do they prostitute legally? The answer is they don't. They are not allowed to. It's one of those weird things. Sex work is everywhere, man, whether it's legal or not. Plenty of Western countries have now legalized the practice, including none other than Australia. They have a legalized network of prostitution there. In Thailand, still not legal, which is very shocking to many people when they come up and find that out in the land of smiles. But also, it's a problem because these gangs might take advantage of these workers, let them know, hey, oh yeah, you can totally do it. It's totally fine. You're protected. You're safe. And they have been misled, and now they're in trouble. All right, their punishment is you're not allowed to come back to Taiwan. I don't think that's that crazy considering they did break the laws there. However, I would like to see some reforms, right? We're seeing a lot of reforms around the world when it comes to, say, cannabis laws, other drug laws. This is one of those vice sin crimes, right? Where it's not really, where's the victim? I don't really know where the victim is in those situations, and sex workers are often put into much more dangerous situations than they normally would be in because it's illegal. So when it's legal, it's much easier for people to, go to the law, go to police if they're in danger, and also to ensure that they have rights in those, sticky situations. Pun intended. All right. Anyways, moving on to our next story. Sorry, guys, couldn't help myself on that last joke. Shrimp or prawns, whatever. They're not on the Barbie so much here in Thailand because Thailand is now importing shrimp from Ecuador amid a local production crisis. So that's right, Thailand, once a leading shrimp exporter, is now importing shrimp from Ecuador due to a severe decline in local production, which has dropped from 600,000 to 200,000 tons annually. Whew, steep drop. Now, Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin has tasked the Department of Fisheries with investigating the cause of this decline and reporting back at the next cabinet meeting. The importation has lowered local shrimp prices, causing financial strain for Thai farmers. The investigation aims to uncover factors such as environmental changes, disease, and economic policies to develop strategies to revive the industry and ensure sustainability. Woo, that's not good news. Like, Thailand is very famous for, tiger prawns, man, like all sorts of great seafood products. But that is a steep drop-off, right? Almost, 400,000 tons less. I don't know the percentage, like 66% less than their usual production. So something fishy's going on. Hey, I'm on fire today. That's, at least Ecuador is there to pick up the slack for the consumers, but it's incredibly bad news for the local Thai production. So many fishermen rely on that industry in order to, make their living. So that's a massive drop-off. And now the imported shrimp is, usually when there's a drop-off in supply, that would raise the price of shrimp. However, the imported shrimp supply is keeping those prices depressed. So the fishermen are just making less money. And more of that money is heading out to Ecuador. But what are you going to do? I mean, when the demand is high, especially for seafood in Thailand, you got to make up for that lack of production somewhere. So hopefully the Department of Fisheries can get to the bottom of that and make the correct fixes and changes to bring back to bring that production back up. Yeah, John's sounds fishy to me. Can't help myself. Woo! All right. Anyways. Moving on to our last story, we got to feel good. Now, Thailand has been ranked in the top 50 in 2024 Happiness Report. That's right, Thailand has been ranked 45th out of 143 countries in the World Happiness Report 2024, making it the second happiest country in Asia after Taiwan. The report, using data from the Gallup World Poll, evaluates happiness based on GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity, and perceptions of corruption. This ranking underscores Thailand's appeal, especially among young people, and highlights its accessibility for international visitors. Prime Minister Sretthavison's policies, such as the Marriage Equality Bill, are noted for resonating with the youth, although local challenges like job scarcity and drug addiction do persist. Yeah. Good on Thailand. I mean, they don't call it the land of smiles for nothing, right? There's a reason why so many, you think about migrant workers and people moving into Western countries and stuff. Thailand is one of those countries that has a massive appeal for foreigners to move here, right? I know so many people that hey, when you first came to Thailand, how long did you expect to stay? I don't know, 2 weeks? How long have you been here now? I don't know, 20 years? It's a massively, it's just a beautiful place, man. And it had that same effect on me. I was planning to come here for a few weeks. Now I got locked down here. So that was my excuse for the first few years. But I thought and found a way to be able to stay here because now it feels like home. So that's good news to me. Makes sense to me. I'm surprised it's not a little higher up, but of course there are still problems here that still need to be addressed. We can always make a more perfect situation. However, I'm pretty happy, and it seems like most of the country is content as well. So good news. What do you think? Thailand, good place to live or not? Let us know in the comments. All right, John's Journey said, I love it. Cool. Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody, if you haven't liked and subscribed already. Now, that'll do it for our news from Thailand. I have a couple of stories for you from around the ASEAN region now. So, first things first, we got to go over to Vietnam. Now, recently, they had a visit from none other than Vladimir Putin. And Vietnam has a very interesting strategic relationship in the region, not just with Russia, but also China and America. So, it's clarifying its stance. Now, Vietnam reaffirms its strategic partnership with the U.S. after Putin's visit. That's right, Vietnam has reaffirmed its strategic partnership with the United States just a day after Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit. Vietnamese Foreign Minister Bui Thanh Son praised the upgraded bilateral ties with the first Vietnam-U.S. foreign ministers dialogue held in Washington, D.C. in March. The U.S. and Vietnam elevated their relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership during President Biden's visit in September, as part of U.S. efforts to counter China's influence in the Asia-Pacific region. Despite the growing U.S. ties, Vietnam maintains close relations with Russia, its main arms supplier and historical ally. Yeah, Vietnam's in one of those weird situations, right? Come on. I'm an American. We know the history there. They beat us up when we had our little scuffle back in the 60s and 70s. Of course, it is known as the War of American Aggression over there, the Vietnam War for us. But these days, I don't know, plenty of Americans have taken up shop in Vietnam. My own father has an office in Vietnam, so I go over there to visit him very regularly. They have Vietnam has a pretty short memory. Right, of course, that was a terrible event, and for all intents and purposes, all I can ever feel when I go there as an American is friendliness and happiness and good vibes. So it makes sense that they can maintain those relationships with other traditional partners like Russia, and but I think it's a little more complicated with China, actually. But it is an interesting position that Vietnam finds themselves in, and it's countries like that that might be able to provide some of these diplomatic bridges, similar to how Thailand maintains its neutrality all over the place. Vietnam seems to be taking a similar path. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Russia's still a very controversial state, particularly with its relationships to the West. So these countries that have those bilateral relationships with America and with Russia and other Western countries as well, they have some power, actually, and some negotiating leverage. So, yeah, let us know what you think about this sticky situation. All right, now on to our last story, which actually involves Thailand and Malaysia. So Malaysia and Thailand are both set to pursue BRICS membership. So Malaysia and Thailand are taking steps to join the BRICS economic bloc, which currently includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim highlighted the economic benefits and strategic advantages of joining, aiming to strengthen trade relationships and diversify economic ties. Thailand's government has also approved its bid for BRICS membership, seeing it as a way to boost the economy and enhance international cooperation. Both countries view BRICS as a platform to amplify their roles on the global stage, particularly among emerging economies. Yeah, BRICS is about to become BRICS. I don't know how to fit Thailand and Malaysia into there, but both of their bids are in. It only benefits the BRICS nations to have more countries to join that union. Yeah, like we said, there are some controversies there. With their other allies and other partnerships, with, say, Russia's in there, China's in there. However, this is supposed to be about pursuing economic development. And that, I think we can all agree, is just a good thing across the board, particularly for developing countries like Malaysia and Thailand, which are, moving into the future. In my mind, I see Southeast Asia as the way everyone was talking about China maybe 15, 20 years ago. That's how I see Southeast Asia these days, particularly with Thailand, I think, leading the way. So this kind of greater stance on the international stage is a good thing, I think. It's greater prominence. Its soft power is emerging in all sorts of ways. And yeah, its policy leadership is becoming more important with things like its cannabis policy, its new policies on gay marriage. This kind of leadership is showing that Thailand can really step up and provide an example for other developing nations around the world. So yeah, good luck, Thailand and Malaysia, in your BRICS application membership. All right, cool. Well, that'll do it from our news story, guys. We are wrapped up today. If you want more updates, you can always go to thetiger.com for more news from around the land of smiles throughout the day. You can always go to ASEAN Now as well and join the forums over there because there's plenty of like-minded individuals and also not like-minded individuals. If you like to get into it and duke it out with people or just joke around with other expats that live in the region and connect. So please, I encourage you to go visit there. We will be back with all of you again tomorrow. And until then, have a good day, and I'll check you in the comments right now.